We're live on both platforms. About 3 minutes early, so it's time to kill some time till I see people showing up, and then we will begin for today's Friday class of doing a Hatha Flow practice. So, today is the fifth morning class in a row, and tomorrow there will be no morning class, and Sunday as well, no morning class, but there will be Sunday night class at 6 p.m., which is gentle flow and restorative. Someone told me recently that it was so gentle that they fell asleep, which is a compliment. They said, "Oh, it was too gentle, I fell asleep." That means it's working. But anyhow, let me just go over the schedule since we have some time. And it's always helpful to have refreshers on that. So, Monday through Friday, we have 10:30 a.m. classes. We have Hatha Flow on Monday, Vinyasa on Tuesday, Gentle Yoga on Wednesday, another Vinyasa on Thursday, and we close the week out with this class, Hatha Flow. And these morning classes are all at 10:30 a.m. California time. And all are welcome. There's something for everybody. At night, we have 6 p.m. classes Monday through Thursday. We have Monday and Wednesday core conditioning, which are involve some stretching, and there's overlap between yoga, but it's a fitness class. It's a non-yoga class. And then there's deep Hatha Yoga, which is similar to what we're about to do, but it's with really deep openings, and we hold things a little more, and we do movement a little less. And that's on Tuesday and Thursday night at 6 p.m. And then Sunday night, gentle flow and restorative. So there's two of every class. There's two Hatha flows, there's two deep Hathas, two Vinyasas, two core conditioning, and two gentle yoga and restorative. So there's something for everyone, and they get stored. So if you're not able to join live, you can join another time and watch them on either YouTube or I save them on Facebook Live. Although it's very likely I'll start taking down some of the Facebook Live ones because they take up a lot of storage space, but the YouTube ones will remain. So that is good news. Looks like we have 1 minute to spare till official class time. Today's class will move a little bit and do some standing poses, so we'll get warmed up. So it's good to have maybe a tank top as a base layer, a t-shirt. You might get warm, you might even feel a little perspiration, but you want to start cozy so you feel very comfortable the whole time. And you can control your own household climate if you have running heat. So make it warm if you like that, make it cool, open the windows if you get hot easily. That's one of the benefits. There's definitely drawbacks of not being able to go to our favorite studio, but we'll focus on the benefits, which is I can reach people. We can join in a community online around the world. I know there's some people practicing in different states and in Canada, possibly different countries outside of North America, which is awesome. And yeah, you get to dress the way you want. You can have messy hair, your PJs, you can have eaten garlic recently. You're all good. It's just you in your own space with sort of this virtual community. So it's kind of cool in many ways. Yeah. So it is time. It's time to begin. So if you have your space set up and you're ready, we'll begin in standing. If you're still getting ready, take your time. Oh, and I put a playlist up, as I typically do, called Hatha Flow 327. So please play the music if you'd like. It's timed perfectly to the sequence. If you don't want to play music, do whatever you like, or play your own tracks. But I am trying to be very consistent in making the playlist for you all to enjoy. So let's go ahead and make the feet about as wide as the hips. Open and spread the toes. Tuck the tail a little bit. Have the abs in. Lift the chest. Lengthen the neck. The shoulders are a little bit back and low. And the arms just hang down. Take a deep breath. Let it out with the exhale. Continue deep breath. Inhale to really expand. Inhale until you're full. Exhale all the breath out. Exhale till you're empty. Repeat the deep breath and we'll warm up with very gentle movement, lifting the arms and twisting side to side. And when you're done with both sides equally, relax the arms. Roll the shoulders a couple times and take a big breath. Do both directions, about 3 each way. Looping it out, relaxing in the trapezius muscles, neck and upper back. And then taking the arms overhead and holding the right wrist. Turn the palm away, stretch to the other side, hip shift, and you keep the core in a bit. Switch your grip and go back and forth. And when you've done both sides, arms relaxed. Let's do some half sun salutes. You might want wide feet. If you have tighter hamstrings, you're also welcome to bend the knees. We'll lift the arms on the breath in and then come down. And go ahead and flatten the back. Maybe bend the knees and hold the legs. Stand up straight. Bring the arms up. And again, fold down. Flatten the back. Straight back lift. Inhale, lift. And exhale, come down. One more time. Straight back lift. Arms come up. And fold down. Now we're going to place the hands forward and walk the feet back to downward dog, also called the mountain pose. And then put the knees on the floor gently. Let's go ahead and roll out the back. And then after rolling out the back, push into the legs, downward dog, and then walk the dog a bit, bending one leg to the other, and keeping the hips lifting high. Press into the hands, very strong, to lift out of the shoulders. And go ahead, come to neutral, and bring the knees back to the floor. Lower all the way. Reach back through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And lifting the hands. And then come on down. And again, lift the chest and the hands. Notice how lifting the hands helps to open the chest a little more, strengthens the upper back. And we're going to go ahead and send the arms back and really open up in the chest without overlifting. Make sure you can breathe, of course. And then we'll come down. Next is basic locust. Keep the hands down, lift the legs and the chest. Try rolling the knees in a little bit so you don't over squeeze the low back or the sacrum. Extend through the ankles and then come down. Take a locust with the arms extending back, opening up in the chest. And come on down. Take the arms overhead. Unless your neck or shoulders are sore, you can do a basic locust. Otherwise, now we'll do extended locust where you lift arms and legs, inner spiral the knees, and then come on down. Bring the hands back. Use the arms just a little bit and take cobra, but keep the elbows bent. Just lift to a height that's comfortable. Don't overlift. Try and open the chest and come on down. Use the core and lift. Tuck under the toes. Press into the legs. Downward dog pose. Hips lifting very high. And head relaxing. Go ahead and put the knees on the floor. Fold the arms under the head and just take a child's pose. Then from child's pose, come back to hands and knees. And lengthen the spine to more of a neutral position. Tuck under the toes and lift the knees just a bit. And then put the knees down and push into the legs. Dog stretch. And let's do that again. Knees down, come to a lengthened spine position. Lift the knees just a little bit. Levitated cat. Push into the feet and the hands to really feel the core. And then come back to a dog stretch. Lift the right leg gradually, but keep lifting until you have your deepest stretch. And exhale, lower. Lift the other leg gradually. And release. Let's take the knees down on the floor again. Maybe make your position long. You can bring your hands more forward. If you have wrist pain, you can have your palms elevated on the mat, but your fingers off the mat. And we're going to walk the legs back and take a very strong plank. So strong back, flat or rounded back, shoulders above the wrists, very active legs. And you want to scoop the tailbone a little bit and really lift the lower abdomen to really draw into that lower abdominal core area. It's a hard to reach area sometimes, but really effective alignment and plank will help with that. And then 3 times, we're going to put the knees down. So if you haven't been feeling the low abdomen, you really will from this exercise. Lift the knees up and firm the legs. And put the knees down. Your low abdomen strong. Your back tends to be much healthier. So that's a really good thing. Firm the legs again. One more time, knees down. Firm the legs again. And then knees down and lower down all the way. Let's go ahead and take the left arm under the forehead and stretch the right thigh. Half frog. Deep breath. And then release and take the other side. Release. Use the core and lift. Exhale, downward dog. And knees down. Point the toes. Extend the right leg back and lift just as high as the hip. And lift the left arm. And go ahead. Do that on the other side. Extend the left leg back. Lift just as high as the hip. Lift the right arm. And come on down. Now we're going to extend the right leg. Lift just as high as the hip. And then flex the foot and bend the knee until the ankle is right on top of the knee. So you're making the hamstring strong. Just sometimes we overstretch this muscle and don't strengthen it enough. And it's good to have a nice balance of both when doing yoga or just daily activities. We'll go ahead and switch the sides, having enjoyed that, and extend the next leg. Lift, flex the foot, and then have the ankle on top of the knee. Gazes forward. Extend and release. Next, we're going to put the elbows down. Walk the legs way back. And now we're taking the plank on the elbows. And you can hold this for a nice long time if you'd like. You want the hips shoulder level and the shoulder blades parting, the legs very active. That first started, we're just going to hold this a little bit and move along to another stretch. So take the Sphinx and reach back through the ankles. Focus on opening up in the chest and having the shoulders back. Deep breath. And come on down. Use the core and lift. Downward dog. From downward dog, let's put the knees on the floor. And then next, take a big step up with the right foot. Right foot steps up. Runner's pose. And then go ahead and lift a little more if you can. The next thing we're going to do is lift all the way up and add a twist. Now, if you need to, you can shorten the distance. Just don't bend the knee above the ankle and twist. But if you're able to stay long with the hips low and the shoulders right above those hips, we'll twist to the right with the vertical spine. The spine is longer this way than the types of twists where we're leaning forward, and we can really go deep and open the chest. Come on back to center. And let's switch legs, taking the opposite leg forward. So take a long step, unless you know that you need shorter distance for your twist. And that's where we're going. So long stride or modified position. Lift when ready, a little bit, and then eventually more, shoulders above the hips. And go ahead and take a nice twist to the left and open up deep into the chest with deep, deep breath. Exhale, unwind. And let's flow back to hands and knees and lower to face down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Use the core, inhale, lift. Go to child or down dog. However, if you want to keep building some strength, take plank just for a couple of breaths, lifting out of the shoulders. Strong spine, strong legs. And then downward dog. And we'll walk or lightly hop up to the top of the mat and fold over the legs. Next is chair pose. You bend the knees, put weight in the heels and extend the arms. And then arms extend back and arms lift. Then do that a few more times. Arms back, keep drawing into the core. Arms lift, arms back, arms lift. And then come to standing, relax the arms. Taking a little balancing pose. Sometimes you want to stand near the wall so you can hold on to that for balance. And if you're able to, you just put weight on the foot. And freestanding, you open the left foot a little bit and the arms. And then eventually you open a little bit more. And then you can wobble a little bit. And as you're wobbling, it's almost as if you're doing it on purpose, right? You'll notice the wobbling is strengthening. And so if you ever are doing this pose and you start to wobble, just tell yourself it's a strengthening adaptation, right? Because you're that kind of yogi, you're super hardcore. That's good. You can tell that I'm a hardcore yogi by the tone of my voice. Most people get that. That's good. And have weight on the left foot now. And open the arms and legs. Maybe a little at first, more, and then add the wobble. This is good for the lateral core and the glutes, the gluteus medius, and it's good for the stabilizer muscles of the standing leg. So more subtle muscles that we might not blatantly do from blatant core work like planks and crunches and things, but very important core muscles, very good for your health, good for your balance. And good. We're going to do one more chair. So go ahead and have the feet parallel. Sit nice and deep in the chair. Put weight in the heels. Draw into the core. And then fold over the legs. Walk back. Downward dog. Knees down. And then lengthen through the spine. Turn to face the side. And then walk or hop the feet apart. Have a flat back. Maybe use some blocks if you have them, your fingertips, or any form of cushioning. A couple of books would work just fine. Also, bending the knees is good if you don't have any props, a little bit if you're tight in your back and legs. Otherwise, we're going to take some deep breath here and just hold. Nice to move, but also holding poses. Very good for you. Helps with the opening, and also you get really centered in the mind, especially when you're practicing with the breath. And then we're going to draw the glutes back a little bit, draw into the abdomen, stand up straight, and open the arms, take warrior two. And now relax the arms in front of the hips, and lift the arms, and sit nice and low. Just hold that a little bit. Bend the knee above the ankle, but not beyond it. Then bring the hands to heart. Push the hands together, and then send them apart. Back to traditional form. Relaxing arms and legs. Turn the back foot in a bit. Open that left foot. Take warrior two. The hips may tend to tip, but do the best you can to level them and keep the knee open. That will help you to stretch. We're going to lower the arms. Lift the arms. Hold that a little bit. Sit low. Draw in the abs. Bring the hands to heart. And then push the hands together to make the upper body strong for just a moment. And then send the hands apart with that momentum. Very clear, steady form. Keep the back arm up. And relax everything. Come on back to center. Hinge down and hold the ground. Bend the right knee. And then lift the chest. And lift the arms. Come back to center. Bend the other side. Lift the chest. Lift the arms. And come back to center. Take the left hand under the right chest, and then right arm lifts. You might need to hold the low back. Otherwise, keep the arm up. And go ahead and glide into the next side. And come on down. And again, rise up. Open the right foot all the way. Really open that foot. And then take warrior. Next is side angle. You can do elbow to thigh or holding the ground or a block. And now we're going to do a forward windmill with the arm. And then arm lifts. And then about 3 times backward windmill. And then come right into form and open the chest. Pass through warrior. Sit low. And go ahead and do the other leg. Opening that left foot. Pass through warrior. Take side angle, elbow to thigh. Light on the thigh or hand to ground. And then we're going to do forward windmill about 3 times or so. Very steady. Come into form. Backward windmill. Deep breath. And come into form. Draw into the core. Use your back and abdominals as well as pushing through the legs. Come up to warrior and sit low for just a moment. And then lower the arms and legs. Bring the feet a little closer. Open the toes. A little if you're tighter in the hips. A lot if you're flexible. Bend the knees and hold the knees wide. Lift the arms. And then come on up and relax the arms. Bringing the feet a little bit closer. And then when you're close enough, stand tall, top of the mat. Clasp the hands and draw back to stretch the shoulders. And then release the arms, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold down. And go ahead and interlace the arms for a waterfall stretch, or what some people know as ragdoll stretch. You have the knees bending a little, and the back of the neck relaxing. Hands come forward. Walk back, downward dog. Knees on the ground. And child's pose. Good. Let's go ahead and come on up to sitting or kneeling. And take a big step up with the right foot. Maybe step twice if you need. Next is warrior one. The back foot down. Rise up and hold the thigh. And arms can come up. If your neck or shoulders are tight, you can have the arms lifted. Like a goalpost is fine. Hands wide or hands together. If it feels good and you can set the shoulders somewhat low, eventually you can firm the back leg a little more. That's not hurting your joints. And you can sit really low into it, draw into the core. Downward dog. If you're feeling the flow, you can do an up dog or cobra as a little segue pose. And then draw into the core, back to downward dog. Child's pose. Come on out to sitting or kneeling. Take a big step up with the left foot, long step, big step. And then take warrior one, back foot down. You can shorten it if you need. You can hold the thigh if you want balance. Otherwise, you sit really low into it, glutes down, back leg firm, abs in. Arrange the arms in a way that works for you. Deep breath. Real nice low pose for maximum strength and flexibility. But you also want to stay calm, have peace of mind. What they call meditation in action. Exhale. Downward dog. Inhale, plank again. Maybe walk the feet back. Exhale, lower. And left arm under the head. And stretch the right thigh. and release. And we'll go ahead and stretch the other leg. I know we've done this already, but the first time was just to warm up, and now we're really getting into the stretch. Release. And again, we'll do Sphinx. Lift and open the chest. And if you'd like, you can lengthen the arms. Only do that if it feels really good, though. Keep reaching back to the feet. Come on down. Now we're going to take locust pose, lifting the legs and chest, arms reach back. Either stay here, or you can bend the knees and hold the ankles. Hug the knees in, and then inhale, lift, bow pose. Deep breath. And then if you're able to, do the full frog. You come down, cut both toes, then stretch both thighs. Tuck the tailbone, stretch deep into the quadriceps. Deep breath. Go ahead and relax. And place hands alongside the chest. Use the core and lift. And we'll all meet up back in a nice downward dog pose. Step the right foot up just a tiny bit, like about 2 feet or 3 feet, and take Parsvottanasana. Relax down the back of the neck and breathe very full and very deep. Go ahead and switch. Which leg is forward? Enjoy stretching. Hands come forward. Again, downward dog. Feel free just to stay here, maybe rest in child, or you can wash out the sequence with a little cobra or up dog. Then we'll all meet back in downward dog. Next is the swan pose. Right knee forward. And you keep the right foot tucked into the left hip, and you work the hips down. So if you're very, very flexible, having the foot more forward is good. If your knee really hurts, you can do a lunge or a cradle. Sometimes moving the knee to the middle helps. Sometimes, especially if it's the inner knee pain, you can bring this foot a tiny bit forward, and that might help to not have the knee bent so tight. But adapt as needed. Make sure you feel comfortable in this pose or whatever alternative you take. Have deep breath. If it doesn't hurt the back, you can bring the hands further back a bit, open up in the chest. Otherwise, hands further forward is good. Feel free to stay like this or bring the right hand to the inside. Back knee to the midline and take a thigh stretch. If you can't do the thigh stretch, maybe start the forward bend early. That's where we're going eventually. Or just stay in the lifted variation. Deep, deep breath. And come on back to center, and let's take the forward bend. Bring the hands in place. And inhale, come on up to swan. Exhale, glide back. Downward dog. Next is left side. Swan, knee forward. And work the hips down. Work on lifting the chest. Remember, just different alternatives as you like. You can do lunge back bend and a lunge forward bend, cradle on the back. Otherwise, bring the hands further back. If you're good here, really open in the chest. This is great for opening the chest, and you're stretching the glutes and hip flexors, of course, but also when you bring your hands further back, you really engage a lot of muscle tone in the back body, so you become very strong and flexible. If you like, you can move the back knee to the midline a little. The back knee will tend to move over to whatever side it is. So if you move it to the midline, it tends to stay more in alignment with the hip as opposed to splaying wide, which is not as good for the hip. And you stretch big into the muscles and breathe even more so. Deep as possible with a nice smooth exhale. Feel free to not do this thigh stretch It's good only if it works for you, you know what I mean? It's only good if it's good. When you are complete, we'll go ahead and take a nice deep forward bend and take some deep breath here, melting into the pose. Come on up. And glide back to downward dog. Next, we're going to put the knees on the floor and adjust to a sitting pose. Legs come out from under, hips back, forward bend stretch just a little bit, and keep lengthening, reaching forward through the chest. It's forward bend, so emphasize the forward motion, neutral neck, open toes. And then bring the hands behind the hips a little bit, bend the knees, bring the feet flat, and let's go ahead and take a table. Now, if your wrists are sore, your fists will help your wrists and shoulders. The more height is good. It's like natural blocks using the fists, but if you can do flat palms, then that's good. And we'll come on up and lift, open the chest, and take the head back. Only if you're really opening the chest and it feels good. Otherwise, just keep the head neutral. Take deep breath. Use the strength of the legs and the glutes to really lift and stretch in the chest and shoulders. And we'll come on down. Legs extend forward. Draw the hips back. Bring the arms up. Lift tall. Draw into the core. Be active in the legs. Open in the toes. Lightly flex feet. And keep reaching forward. Now we'll do a deeper forward bend. More warmed up now. So we can just really relax into it. Go as deep as you can, but remember, never force or strain. Breathe into the stretch. Use the exhale to slowly reach your deepest potential in the stretch and gradually and safely and thoughtfully expound your boundaries. Or perhaps the correct word is expand. It's hard to teach and talk at the same time. You try it, I dare you. Good. Stay focused on the breath. The practice is intense and you want to be focused, but you also want a lighthearted aspect of practice. Don't take yourself too seriously, but do be committed to your breath. And we'll release that stretch. And next we're going to bend one leg. Sit as tall as we can and twist to that side, opening the chest, opening the shoulders. Come on back to center. Let's do the other side. Lift and lengthen the spine. Go ahead and twist to the right. Or whatever is the opposite side. And breathe deep. Come back to center. Next, we're going to switch to sitting cross-legged. Maybe sit on a pillow or a blanket if you have one. Draw your hips back. Rest the arms on the thighs. Connect the index and thumb. It's a classic calming gesture in the yoga tradition. And sit tall. Closing the eyes. We're just going to take about 5 deep breaths here. And then coming back to the body. Switch which leg is forward. And take the right ear to the right shoulder. And other side. Come on back to center. Next, we're going to set up to lower onto the back. When you have the space and you're prepared, release slowly with control and give yourself a nice hug, knees to chest. Well-deserved, much-needed hug. And if you'd like, you can gently roll around on your low back. And when you're complete with that, bring the feet to the ground and extend the left leg. Open the right knee and take the arms overhead. Recline tree. You may not feel a big stretch. If you're tight in the hip, then you will. That's great. But even if you don't feel the big stretch, just enjoy the feeling of the support of the earth below you, the feeling of the breath with the inhale and the exhale, the feeling of being more internal, maybe having the eyes closed even, just relaxing. And open the arms out to side. Pivot up onto the left hip. And you can have the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, or you can have it out more onto the floor, whatever you'd like. Go ahead and have the back leg lengthen. Keep both shoulders grounded. And deep breath. And when you're ready, go ahead and unwind and take knees to chest. Have the feet on the floor and extend the right leg. Open the left knee and lengthen the arms, or arrange the arms any way that feels really good. It's nice if you get a stretch, but if you're quite flexible and you don't feel one, it doesn't matter. We just want to relax and feel really good in the pose. Breathing, feeling more and more calm and steady all the time. Open the arms out to side. Pivot up onto the right hip. Ground into both shoulders and enjoy the stretch. Nice deep stretch and a long exhale. When you're nice and complete with the twist, let's go ahead and take Shavasana, where you lay down, open the arms and legs slightly, maybe use cushioning under the knees or the head, cover with the blanket for warmth if you need. Close the eyes and relax deeper and deeper with every soft exhale. Go ahead and deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Come back to knees to chest. And then let's close a comfortable seat. Take any seat you like, so long as you feel really good in your legs and you can sit with a tall spine. We'll do a clearing breath and then 3 ohms. So breathe in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then inhale for Om. Namaste. Thank you all very much for joining. The week went by quickly. Um, I'm going to either do another coffee tea Q&A or possibly a little alignment Q&A where I'll have Caitlin, my fiance, answer or ask questions live. So you can type them in. She'll read them to me and I'll demonstrate things on the mat. I'll have a couple topics that I'll just talk about whether people have many questions or not. So if I don't do that, I'll decide and announce that tonight. But if I don't do that this Saturday, I will at some point on Saturday. So look out for either coffee, tea, Q&A, or an actual visual alignment sort of pseudo workshop that we'll show on Saturday. And if you want to do a good practice session on Saturday, you can do any of the pre-recorded videos. Core is awesome. Vinyasa, these Hatha Flow classes, the deep Hatha. So you never have to miss class. Someone said, oh, I'm bummed I missed class. I sent them the link to what they wanted to take. I said, now you don't have to miss class ever. So, yeah. So practice on Saturday if you want, or enjoy a nice day off. And then Sunday we have restorative yoga at 6 o'clock, just like all the other night classes. So that's the one weekend class, gentle flow and restorative yoga. So please come to that. If you're able to make a donation, very small one, very big one, anything in between, it's all very much appreciated. Please like and comment and share. The sharing is most important, but the likes and comments help me have more exposure. So thank you for doing that. And let me know if you have any questions or if you have suggestions for next week. That's part of the coffee tea Q&A is saying, oh, I like this pose, and can we do more of that type of pose or that type of body opening or strengthening? So, feedback is welcome. And I look forward to seeing you all in person. But until then, we're going to continue these live. And if you're out of the area and you want to continue these, just know that even when public classes are open, I'm still going to do this on more of a small scale, but definitely going to still do this. So thank you again. Have a wonderful Friday and weekend. I'm going to close off YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. And then I'm going to